Hey everyone, Samantha here with another Atlas Wellness webinar. With it finally being summer, today I want to talk about getting outside. Especially with all that's been going on lately, the outdoors can serve as a really major outlet for people and can be an important part of physical and mental health. So today we'll be talking about green exercise. So what is green exercise? Green exercise refers to physical activity that's done in a natural environment. So this can mean a range of different things, but generally think activities that involve trees, trails, and/or water. And in order to better understand why green exercise is so beneficial, let's start out by breaking it down into each of its components. So that'll be exercise and nature, which are both beneficial in their own right. So we know that exercise is extremely beneficial to our physical health. It can improve blood pressure, so getting the heart pumping is important for your cardiovascular health. It can also improve blood sugar. So exercise leads to a response in the body that ultimately makes it easier for the sugars in your blood to get into the cells and then be broken down or used for energy. Exercise is also important in helping maintain healthy weight, so it helps to burn off extra energy, and not only during the activity, but also thereafter when you have increased muscle mass. Helps reduce the risk of chronic disease, so again, exercise can cause this kind of cascade of different responses in the body that impact a lot of different things that happen on the micro level to reduce the risk of certain diseases, like cancers, heart disease, diabetes. It also strengthens bones and muscles, which is an important part in helping you move through your lifetime and prevent injuries. And there's also a lot of cognitive benefits of exercise, especially as we age, so things like thinking and memory, so exercise can help keep you sharp for longer. And being in nature is also beneficial even without the exercise, particularly for mental health. So studies have found that interacting in some form with nature on a daily basis can reduce stress and anxiety. And interestingly, studies have even shown that just having a plant in the room can help to relieve stress and anxiety. It can also help improve depression and mood. It gives us a sense of connection, so not just with the earth, but also with others. There's actually been brain imaging studies that even found that when people were exposed to nature, that activity in the part of the brain associated with empathy and love was increased, whereas when exposed to an urban environment, the parts for fear and anxiety were increased. So that's interesting. And since we know that mental health is so closely linked with physical health, all of these factors can ultimately impact things like blood pressure, heart rate, muscle tension, and a lot of the stuff we talked about before with exercise. So when you combine exercise and being in nature, the benefits from each can build on one another and make it even more powerful of a health promoting tool. So what then specifically are the benefits of green exercise beyond what you would get from exercise and being in nature on its own? For physical benefits, we see further reductions in blood pressure and heart rate, so more so than what you would find exercising in an urban environment. There's reduced perceived exertion, so feeling like the exercise isn't as demanding and you're able to maintain that same level of intensity. So this can make it easier for you to exercise. It can make it more enjoyable. For example, there was one study that found that participants were naturally walking faster outdoors than when in an urban setting or an indoor environment, while also reporting lower perceived exertion. So not only were the people working harder in nature by walking faster, but they also felt like it was easier. So this means that people may be able to go harder and have it feel less demanding, which is important in helping to maintain motivation and ultimately resulting in being more physically active. And higher physical activity levels, this just again refers to being able to do more at a higher level and being able to achieve more and feeling like you're not having to exert yourself as much and being able to enjoy it more. Improved immune function, a particularly important one right now. And then also for mental health benefits of green exercise, we see reduced stress. So studies have found lower levels of cortisol and adrenaline, which are two stress hormones, reduced anger, tension, and depression, improved self-esteem and mood. And the mood is an interesting one because this one actually can happen almost immediately, so within 5 minutes of exercising outdoors. restore mental fatigue, and then of course enjoyment. So again, it's thought that humans inherently enjoy being in nature, and for a lot of people it can also be a social thing, which brings its own level of enjoyment. And finally, motivation and behavior change. Actually being able to enjoy the physical activity and having it feel easier and more sustainable can make it easier for people to stay motivated. Plus, not to mention all the health benefits we just talked about can help put people in a better mental headspace so that they can continue making positive lifestyle choices. So how do you go about getting green exercise? Well, any way that you can get out will work. Although studies show that longer time spent outdoors result in greater benefits, it's also been shown that many of the benefits we can get from green exercise don't take very long at all. So what's more important is getting out as often as you can in any way you can, even if it's just for a little bit at a time. So maybe that's a walk in the park near your house, or taking a ride on a biking trail, or getting out for a weekend hike. You don't have to do all these crazy backcountry extreme sports to get the benefits of green exercise. And just to end on a few resources to help you get out and get green exercise, there is the Washington Trails Association. Their website is kind of like a Google Maps for hiking trails. You can just plug in the area you're interested in and it'll pop up with a bunch of different hikes and give you trail reports and all the information you need on that. State and national park services also have websites with their park closures and limitations, especially with COVID right now, so I would encourage you to check that out before visiting any parks. The Atlas, we made a quarantine-friendly outdoors Google Sheet that I'm going to repost here that I think would be really great if we could kind of ramp up the use of that, kind of as a space where you can enter where you've been or look at where other people have been and trying to get ideas maybe more locally for how you can get out. And then of course your Atlas Wellness team, Alec and I are always here to help you get more ideas or kind of talk through your motivations for starting a green exercise routine. You can always email us or call or text at that number. And finally, wanted to promote one more time our Active Outdoors Summer Photo Celebration. So this is really just an opportunity for you to share what you've been up to, getting outside, anything as simple as gardening or yard work, all the way up to, hiking, water sports, climbing, whatever it is that you like to do. If it's outdoors, we want to hear about it. So go ahead and just post those photos with your captions to our Facebook page, and we may even feature your post in Community Times or in our Atlas communications. And that's all for today, so go ahead and get out and go green, and remember to always bring your sun protection and practice safe social distancing. Thank you.